Hey, remember those Knives Out movies? You know, the ones directed by Rian Johnson, starring Daniel Craig as Benoit Blanc, that I reviewed earlier this year, Glass Onion. Yeah, it's, if you're looking for, like, a discount, a simpler version of those kinds of movies, those detective mystery movies, I guess it's what these, Kenneth Branagh, Agatha Christie movies are, right? Wouldn't you agree? Happy Halloween, dear viewers! So in case you missed my last video, just to briefly recap, I basically mentioned that for this month of October, I'll be going over media, or focusing on media, in the theme of horror, in the spirit of Halloween. So welcome back to another Halloween/horror themed video on my channel. And for this video, I'll be going over the movie A Haunting in Venice, which is based on the Agatha Christie novel Hallowe'en Party. A Haunting in Venice takes place on Halloween night, once again following Detective Hercule Poirot, played by Kenneth Branagh, who returns from previous films Murder on the Orient Express and Death on the Nile. This time around, he is brought on to solve the mystery of a murder that took place in a palazzo mansion of which a Halloween party is taking place at, and subsequently who and what is haunting the mansion. I'll be fairly honest, guys, I don't really have that much to say about this movie because it's a pretty simple movie to follow, but I'll just say that I've become a fan of these kinds of mystery films over the years, and this is another one of those that, where I was thoroughly entertained, especially with how 80% of this movie was set or contained within just this haunted mansion. See what I did there? Get it? Because, I recently covered and reviewed a movie that was called as such, I'm so lonely. But yeah, I will say that, I liked and enjoyed, the story and direction of this movie. Kenneth Branagh, I guess he really certainly has his way of, with these mystery films, I guess. He really took a lot of inspiration from his, Shakespearean days. Which I first found out in his performance in the movie version of the William Shakespeare play Othello, when I was studying that play for English classes back in my high school days. And yeah, I'll also say that this movie made full use of its premise, I'd say that on the mystery aspect on things. I'll get back to that in a bit. And yeah, I like the twist of this movie, which is, the thing that, you don't want to be disappointed by when it comes to these mystery films. And even more so with how, it was building up to that reveal, because it allows you, the audience, to engage and slowly piece things together whilst the story is progressing at the same time. Right up to the point where, up to that plot twist, where after the movie allows enough time to learn more about the characters, which I don't think you could say a lot for, you can experience a lot for these kind of thought process in these mystery films every day. I also like the acting in this movie as well, but in my personal opinion, I don't think it was as good as, the Knives Out movies. But it's also one of those movies that I can also tell that the cast are really trying to put in their all in this movie, which I really do. You can see in the movie.
Felicia? What is happening?
Yeah, it's pretty simple to follow through, and there's nothing very, complex or complicated about the story or plot in this movie, really. And most of all, I think the best part about this movie that I really like is that the concept and idea of this mystery film taking place on Halloween night, giving it this Halloween theme and atmosphere. It's not something that you see in, typical mystery films, obviously, with these scary stories that set the mood at the beginning of the film. Apple bobbing as well as one of the activities that go on in the Halloween party. There's ghosts in the movie. Of course, there's a Halloween party, obviously, and hidden basements with skeletons and rats in the mansion. And yeah, whether you want to call it out or not, it's a Halloween movie that doesn't go over the top with its setting and atmosphere, which, again, I'll get back to that in a bit. It may also be the best out of the three Hercule Poirot movies, between Murder on the Orient Express, Death on the Nile, and this movie, as per, what most people are saying, I guess. But I'll also say that this movie was a tad bit slow for me as well. But it's still at a decent pace where you're able to at least have quite an easy time following through, the premise and what is going on. And like I said, this is basically a simpler, version of the Knives Out and Glass Onion movies, with the Benoit Blanc movies. And I personally don't know how this compares to, the other movies that before, because I actually haven't seen Murder on the Orient Express or Death on the Nile yet. And honestly, my personal opinion, I'm not really a fan of all the characters. There's most of their arcs is something that I appreciated more than I personally enjoyed. I don't know. There were just some that were not captivating enough for me personally. Like the only ones I really liked seeing their arcs throughout the entire movie, were her Poirot, of course, and as well as Olga, the housekeeper of the mansion, Maxime, who is the ex-boyfriend of the deceased Alicia Drake, who's murdered at trying to solve. Oh, minor spoiler alert. And the other ones, again, I don't know, they were just kind of meh to me. And yeah, going back to what I said about this movie, making full use of its premise and not going over the top of its Halloween setting and atmosphere, honestly, in my personal opinion, this might be like a very, very personal thing, but I was just a tad bit disappointed that they didn't really go full on out and delve more into or experiment more with the Halloween aspect or theme of this movie. It's a movie that even though it takes place on Halloween, and the atmosphere and tone is clearly set for this movie, it doesn't entirely feel like a Halloween movie either. Even though I feel like, this is the perfect setting for the movie to put in at least a bit more good old-fashioned, horror tropes in there, safe for a PG-13 film, other than during its first act and third act, which those scenes I really liked, because of the Halloween theme. But yeah, throughout the second act, it's basically at its core, at the end of the day, it's still a mystery movie primarily, but at the same time, with a mystery one that's taking place on Halloween, and you don't see this kind of mystery film every day, I figured that you probably want to, make full use of that, Halloween atmosphere, which, I don't know, I wouldn't say that it feels imbalanced. I feel like there's a good balance of both, at least a decent balance of both. But yeah, I just wish that they could play around more with like the horror tropes and Halloween tropes, especially since it's taking place in Halloween. Yeah, again, this is really a personal thing. So overall, yeah, if you're looking for just some good old-fashioned Halloween fun and like very simple mystery film at the same time, then yeah, Haunting in Venice is the movie for you. And it's mostly kept up with its great acting and story and direction and how it plays with the Halloween theme as it's taking place in Halloween, even though I'm still disappointed that they didn't really do more with that. But yeah, at the same time, even though I feel like this is a very simple mystery film that you could probably take young audiences to, it will be a tad bit slow. So it's still, probably for the older audiences who are able to keep up, even though it's and it's still at a decent pace where you're still able to have a simple time following through. And yeah, just some of the characters weren't captivating enough for me. I feel like with this 1 hour 45 minute runtime, because it's that simple, some of the characters weren't really fleshed out that much for me, which I guess I would have wanted to see more. But I guess yeah, at the end of the day, if you want a simpler mystery film that also takes place on Halloween and you want to have some fun on Halloween, then yeah, Haunting in Venice is a movie for you. I'm going to go ahead and give A Haunting in Venice a 7.5 out of 10 and a B. Maybe I'm just a bit salty on this movie, not including more Halloween horror themed tropes, since this was released close to the Halloween season. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Maybe it would have made the movie tonally inconsistent, I guess, but, maybe I just need a little more Halloween spirit to make up for last year, since I was sick on Halloween last year. Yeah, what a bad time to get sick on when I should be partying out with friends during this time of the fall and autumn season, am I right? But yeah, hopefully this will turn out to be a much shorter video than usual, but anyways, if you guys enjoyed it, make sure to smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, and share this around, and yeah, just thank you so much for watching, hope you guys enjoy it, and yeah, I guess with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next time. Rhinos, roll out, take care.